What is natural to you? My name is Julius Afolabi, and welcome to day 3 of the 90 Days Transformation Project. This project is designed to help you improve in the core compartments of your life in terms of business, your career, your skill, your family, and your finance. And I'm bringing on board um, almost 2 decades of my experience into sharing with you the things that I've discovered, and that could be of vehement assistance or enhancement for whatever it is that you got going. What is natural to you? To a large extent, what is natural to you determines your wealth, your fulfillment, your achievement, and your accomplishments in life. When I say what is natural to you, I mean what is it that comes natural to you without any form of cohesion or any form of struggle. One of the big questions is that why do people struggle? Most of the time, people struggle because they have not been able to um, correctly and clearly identify what exactly is natural to them. If you look at the fish in water, you would love what is natural, right? If you look at the birds when they fly in their beauty, it is what is natural to them. What is natural to you is like your second nature. It's like your default capacity. It's like a package that came with you, right? It's something that is installed, right? And by virtue of intelligence, now a lot of people that are unaware of what is natural to them are mostly guided by some scientific, I mean, models like what we call the personality test, right? It helps to give direction, to help them to become self-aware, to know exactly what are the things that are natural to them. Now, what is natural to me as a person is teaching, right? Teaching is natural to me, writing is natural to me. But then, no matter how natural a thing is, it will require a measure of refinement if you want to get the best out of that particular thing. So my what is natural to me is teaching, and my teaching story dates back to my secondary school days. What many people knew as awaiting result, most time what was common in my generation then was that when you finish secondary school, you have awaiting results. Then you have like a free period where you can decide to gallivant about and all that. But then time is too expensive to just be allowed to go without being utilized. So most of the time, what we call waiting time, it's just a time to put you in preparation mode. And so there was nothing like awaiting results in my own life at that particular point in time. I simply took up what a teaching job, right? I was teaching in a primary school, and I earned my first salary, which was 5,000 naira back then, for the entire month. Then I earned my first salary teaching. Now, it may not have been totally unveiled to me that that is my natural estate, but that was what I found, I mean, pleasure in doing. But then, what I found pleasure in doing is not enough. There has to be substance that goes along with it. So, even when I got admitted into the university, teaching became my relief package. You understand? Sometimes for about a month or two, I would not go back home to ask my parents for probably SOS or anything. Teaching became another thing, a source of income for me. I was working with a small teaching coaching I mean setup then. It was called Success Partners, right? And I was paid 50 naira per hour for every subject that I was teaching. And the best of my subjects were the ones I was teaching to secondary school students that were preparing for WAEC and for JAMB. So I had to harmonize my school schedule to find out the times that I had within the schedule and plug those time into that teaching to be able to earn what will sustain me while I was in school. My parents at the time were surprised at how I was coping, because my dad was a local printer and my mom was just a trader, a petty trader. So, and I was in the university. They couldn't absolutely cater for everything that I wanted and I needed. You understand? A time comes when you feel ashamed to go and ask your parents even for little money to barb your hair. So you've got to think, and your abilities, your sustainability, your continuity comes from what is natural to you. And most of the time you find out that when you are on a job, even your job or your career or what you presently do, if it properly aligns with what is natural to you, you are a superstar in that particular regard. Now, what will make you a superstar is this: the fact that what the raw state of any treasure at all commands lower value than the refined state of that treasure. And that's why crude oil will command a low value than what the refined petroleum spirit and all the byproducts that come with it after it's refined, right? When during the refinement, a lot of things now come out of it. You have byproducts from the refinement. Now, how does this refinement come? So what is natural to you also requires refinement, and that's why there's a model I call the 4T model, right? Now, the 4T model is like your talent requires trainings with tools in order to generate transaction. That means that what is natural to you must undergo a form of training so that you can be able to package it into a product that can be paid for. So what is it that is natural to you? In my university days, I was an avid reader. So what made my teaching, influential or impactful or anything like that, was the fact that what I had an undying appetite for reading. Do you understand? So, and because teaching was natural to me, what I read would expand the bandwidth of my knowledge to be able to communicate them in a manner that would add value to people. So from my 100, 200, I taught my colleagues. Some of my colleagues back in the university will never forget me for one reason: what I taught them. One day, one of my colleagues back in the university who has his PhD and is resident in the United Kingdom called me one day and said, "I called to just appreciate you for those times that you separated to help me get past some of the difficult courses that today I now hold a PhD in." So that's what is natural to you can afford. God, in his infinite wisdom, decided to package a treasure inside you that is natural to you. So it's your natural, what is natural to you is what came with you, right? And you can always turn to it. It's a reserve bank that you can always turn to be able to get whatever it is that you want. And that's why people say, find your purpose. Your purpose resides in what is natural to you and the problem that those things that are natural to you can solve. One day I was stranded while I was driving, and all of a sudden something happened to the car and I couldn't move. I was right in the middle of the road. But because what was natural to me was to teach, and you can't teach without reading. So I love reading and I love writing. So I simply brought out, I'm always in the company of a pen and a sheet of paper or a notebook. So I just brought out, in the middle of that frustration, I just brought out my notebook and my pen and began to do what? To write. So it took away my frustration. What is natural to you will take away your frustration, will bring you fulfillment, and will bring you what? Income and impact as well. So my question for you this morning is, what is natural to you? Find out what is natural to you. Get it trained. You understand? Get trained along that dimension. Get tools that can enhance you, and it will generate transactions for you. And amazingly, what is natural to you will transform not just your life, but the life of many others that would be connected to you. So what have you learned from this particular video? Let me know in the comment box. Like this video, share it, and subscribe to my YouTube channel where all other videos will be domiciled. Thank you, and God bless you.